3, 2, 1, silencio. Okay, for a moment, put everything on the floor so it's not distracting you and you can really listen well. Awesome. So today is one of my favorite days. It's a little snapshot day.
What's that?
I'm about to tell you. It's going to be so much fun. So, snapshot days are a really kind of low stakes time for me to get to see the progress that you're making. And if we're pretty much staying on point, you've probably noticed we don't have like worksheets or homework or things that you've got to do independently in here very much. Most of what we do is in class. And I can see a lot of how you respond and if you're staying engaged, but I can't always see how your brain is processing things. The inside stuff is a little bit harder for me to see. So this gives me a chance to see how your brain imagines the language right now. So we're going to do 3 little mini assessments today, 3 little snapshots.
I'm good at fail.
And the 3, no, it will be really hard to fail, and I'll show you why. We are only going to be talking about things that are already familiar to us because we've been using them for this whole phase so far. We're going to do 1 listening snapshot, 1 little checkpoint evaluation. That's a lot like what we do on a daily basis. Girls, I need you to track forward, please. In that listening assessment, the first time through, you don't do anything, you just listen. The second time through, I'm going to say it pretty much the same with just some minor differences. And that time you're going to write down in English what you understood. And I kind of pause in between to give you a chance to write down details. The second assessment that we're doing is a reading assessment in which you're taking, in which you're taking a familiar reading or a slight tweak on a familiar reading and telling me what you understood of it. Now, this familiar reading would be like the kind of thing that we write together in class at the end of the day. This one might be from your section, it might be from the other section, but pretty much there's not a whole lot of new detail in here. I might have stuck in 1 little word that was kind of new-ish, but it should be one that you're able to figure out from the context clues. The third section is the writing section, and I'm going to give you a couple of prompts. And you're going to use that as a basis for your writing. Now, before we actually do the writing, you're going to get hopefully about 5 minutes to prep for your writing. And that prep time is going to be with your notes. If you have done a good job taking notes and copying down the stories and even just staying focused in class, you should be able to copy a couple of little chunks that should help you communicate your idea really well. Now, you will get to write 2 lines worth of little words that would help you build your sentences. And really what I'm looking for is pretty base level. I'm not caring about spelling or accent marks or that your word order is perfect. I'm really just looking for you to communicate some basic ideas, give me some details. So let's take a peek at what will get you, let's use this over here. Take a peek at what will get you full points Indeed. On your listening assessment, I know you can't read this very well, but this will be printed on your paper. Eyes here, please. I know you can't read it. It'll be on your paper, though. To get your full 5 points in your retelling in English of what you understood, you can tell me where it's taking place, when it's taking place, and what it's like. If you can answer at least 2 of those questions, you get 4 points. That's an 80%. If you can answer at least 1 of those questions, that's a 60%. That's still passing. So in order to fail, you cannot tell me what it's like, where it is, or when it's happening at all. Now, it is possible to get lower than a 2 by not showing me anything. You don't show me anything, you get a 0. And you have to come in and redo it. In fact, if you get a 3 or a 2, that's kind of part of this snapshot and checkpoint is telling me we need to come in for some extra practice, for some more input time. You need to hear more of the language, you need to read more of the language. The second part that you're getting evaluated on is describing the setting. How many details that I tell you could you recognize and understand? If you can understand like 5 details about the setting, that gives you 5 points. If you can understand like at least 4 good details, that'll get you 4 points. If you can only understand like the date or the most simple of details, 3 points, which is still passing. And 2 points if you really don't tell me about the setting. 0 points if you don't do anything at all. Now, I think that's a pretty realistic expectation, pretty reasonable. It will change and get more complex as the year goes on, but for right now, that's all you need to do. Now, the reading rubric is pretty much identical, except for instead of about the things that you're listening to, it's about what you read. Only 1 of the 3 sections today is actually going to go into the grade book. The others are samples that are going in our portfolio. The writing is not going in the grade book today. The writing is a sample. This is what my brain thinks the language looks like right now. That's it. And as we grow and as we get better at the language, it will grow, it'll develop, it'll be more interesting and more perfect as we move on. But not right now. Right now it's going to be ugly. And that's okay. We will be grading just the reading section today. Or excuse me, reading or listening. I don't know which one I decided. I'll grade either the reading or the listening. I'll tell you which one it's going to be later. Even if you do not, even though I'm not going to grade the writing, I do still expect you to be able to score up in the 4s and 5s. If you don't have anything on the paper, we're going to have to pull you in to do a little bit more practice. All right, here's what I'm going to ask. So, not appropriate for one of the directions about the test. I'm going to ask that you spread out a bit. If you are sitting at a table, you need to make sure that you are a max of 2 people at the table. You can use a stool as a table. Do I have somebody who can pass out shoes? Yeah. Thank you. Boys, that is not an appropriate use of our school supplies. It's not. Your notebook. And any notes. You are going to use your notebook later. You do not need your notebook right now, but you need it near you. You have one for yourself?
They won't be done with it.
You'll take it a lot. I don't know where that is. Okay, chicos. Guys, dos, uno, silencio. That is not silencio. All right, I need everybody's body facing me, even if you're at a table. Like turn your whole body around on the chair. Like turn the chair around. Because you're going to be like this for about 5 minutes. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, this listening has 2 parts. The first part, you have nothing in your hands, you are just listening and watching. Second part, I say pretty much the exact same thing, except you are going to write sort of a retelling of what I say. Doesn't have to be word for word, doesn't have to be perfect. I do not care about your English spelling, as long as I can read it-ish. Pretty good at deciphering handwriting. Is it broken? What? Wait, don't put it back in, it is broken. I'll fix it. That is not that broken. It's not garbage broken. Okay. No, I don't want it.
Well, I can actually fix it. Can I have it back?
Now right now.
I figured it out.
Face me. The first time through, you may not write anything because you are focusing on listening.
That didn't work.
No. Nice try though. Valiant effort. Ok, clase. Este es un mapa de España. No es México, no es Colombia, es España. En España hablan español. ¿Sí? La capital de España es Madrid. Madrid, la capital, está en el centro de España. Don't get her. La capital de España es Madrid. Está en el centro de España. Perdón. El color verde representa precipitación. ¿Sí? Aquí llueve. En Madrid, en la capital, no llueve. Este mapa es un mapa de nubes. Es un mapa de nubes. Hay nubes aquí, y aquí, y aquí. ¿Sí? Madrid está más o menos aquí. Probablemente en Madrid está parcialmente nublado. Este mapa es un mapa de la temperatura. En Madrid, en el centro, la temperatura es más o menos 23 grados Celsius. ¿Sí? 23 grados Celsius es como 73 grados aquí. No hace mucho calor, pero sí hace un poco de calor. Está calentita. ¿Sí? Okay, chicos. That's all you have to listen to. Now, I'm going to re-say pretty much the same thing. You may not talk to the people around you right now. You may not talk to the people around you right now. You write in English because you're showing me what you understood.
I understood a lot of it, but I don't understand the directions.
Okay, the directions are, you got the writing one, correct?
Sure.
The directions are, I'm going to say a sentence, pretty much. You're going to write what it basically means, what you understand from it. You're going to try and be able to, at least from all of what I say, identify where it's happening, when it's happening, what it's like, and then hopefully give me little details along the way. Okay? You're just going to write everything that you possibly can that you understand. Is this a question about what something means or a question about how to do the test?
It's behind of that. Are you retelling the story and we basically say what we know from that?
Yes. So I'm going to say a sentence and then I'll pause, let you write. And when it looks like everybody's finishing up writing, I'll say another phrase, let you write. Then say another phrase, et cetera, until we're done. Delaney.
Like grammatically.
You are not doing it Shakespearean style. You know, when we do it in like the word order is kind of weird. Different, I mean. So say generally, if you were gonna, chicos, it's important to understand this format. So Delaney, if you were going to out loud turn and tell somebody what I had just said in English, how would you say it to them? Well, I haven't told you any sentences yet, but that's how you write it. It's like as if you were telling somebody who wasn't here what I just said. So if I say something that means it's like a sauna there, you would write down, it's like a sauna there. Okay? I didn't say that. I'm not going to say that. But if I did, that's what you'd say.
So, like, you know how you have to describe something in Spanish? You put the descriptive words.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that right now. Yep, great question. Any other ways to take the test question? Awesome. We're going to make this really quick. La capital de España es Madrid. No. I'm not repeating sentences. I will repeat this one first sentence and then I'm not repeating anything else. La capital de España es Madrid.
Does it have to have a
Don't worry about spelling.
No, I'm talking about like does it have to be a punctuation because that from a period.
I'm not worried about that right now. Don't talk to each other. Madrid está más o menos en el centro de España. El color en el mapa representa precipitación. Hoy no llueve en Madrid. Hoy no llueve en Madrid. Probablemente está parcialmente nublado en Madrid. Probablemente está parcialmente nublado en Madrid. En la capital, la temperatura es 23 grados Celsius. $23 Celsius es como 73 grados. No hace frío, pero tampoco hace mucho calor. No hace frío, pero tampoco hace mucho calor. Natural. Hace un poco calor. Hace un poco calor. Without talking to the people around you. I'm gonna say that one again. Without talking to the people around you. I know it's gonna be hard, but I believe in you. Make sure your name is on top. Pass them all to this side of the room. And then when you've got everybody, you're gonna pass them forward. And Andrew's gonna collect them all. Without talking to the people around you. I will have it. Okay. The next thing you're going to get is your reading eval. You're going to have about 8 minutes. 8 minutes to do your reading eval. It looks almost exactly the same. Rubric on top. You want to be able to at least tell me where it's happening, when it's happening, what it's like, and then pick out as many little details as you can from the text. Just kind of retelling it. Right here is the section that you're going to read. This is the part that's in Spanish. That is not much, right? No, it's the same length as one of the slides that we type up at the end of class. And it's not very different. This might have been stolen exactly from your class word for word. You're going to rewrite or retell it down below as if you were saying it in English to somebody who couldn't read a single word of Spanish. So do it in a way that sounds kind of natural. You may not talk or sign or gesture to any of the humans around you. Okay? I'm going to have the same people hand these out. From the moment the first one is handed out, no one can talk. Not anyone. Now, if we get to the end of the 8 minutes and somebody's not quite done, don't panic. I will look at what you've done so far at that time and evaluate you on that. Plus, not your bad. Plus, we have the reading and the listening that I can choose between when I'm evaluating. Okay, so about 8 minutes. Starting now. Okay. 3, 2, 1, silencio. You're going to have about 2 minutes right now to, on your writing sheet, pick a prompt or a variation of a prompt, and you can use the top 2 lines to write yourself down little words or expressions that might help you do that better that you had written down in your notebook. I would highly recommend that you do that. After about 2 minutes, so like if you chose that you wanted to talk about weather in regions of Ecuador, not Quito, you might want to write down the word mountains or coast or jungle or hot or fresh or cold. You may not write complete sentences, but you can write like words or chunks or reminders to yourself. You are choosing the topic. Your topic choices are the weather today, The destination of someone's dreams, your perfect hot dog, or someone's perfect hot dog. Weather and regions of Ecuador, how a baby acquires language, what they do and what they don't do, and what people did this weekend. Those are your choices. You may only write in Spanish. You may not write any words in English other than names and places, like other proper nouns. Vicky.
So like if I want to say temperature, I could like write temperature equals and then put like the Spanish word for it next to it.
Good question. Okay, you may only write Spanish words as reminders on those 2 lines. So you can write temperatura, but not temperature. All right?
Oh, these words have to be in Spanish?
I cannot hear any questions because I've got too many people talking. Andrew, thanks for raising your hand.
These words have to be in Spanish?
Correct. So you are using your notebook to write down some words that can help you communicate that idea. Remember that this one is clase. Remember that this one is not graded. This is just a sample writing to go in our portfolio. Do not talk unless you have raised your hand and I have called on you. Yes, Elaine. What are you confused by? Did you listen to the instructions that I did? No, the notebook is to look back at some notes, to steal some words that will help you communicate one of those ideas. Do not talk to each other, class A. If you have a question, you may ask me and no one else. If you have a comment, save it. Yeah. That one. All right. Now, I am not looking for a word for word, like retelling exactly of what we talked about. I'm looking for you to put it in your own simplified language right now.